Good morning, everyone. It's gonna be a day in the garden today. My neighbor came over yesterday and he plowed this plot here. This is where I'm going to build a strawberry garden with, it's gonna have some bird netting over it, some chicken wire around it, but that'll be next year. This year I needed the plot for sweet potatoes. So my neighbor came over and he plowed it nice and deep for me. But now I need to get out the big chunks of grass and smooth it all out so I can get my sweet potato started. Well, I'm tired of working on this. We got maybe a third of this. We got the grass pulled out, smoothed out. About a third of it's done. We still have to do the middle section. I did the two outside edges and we still have to do the middle, but I'm tired of doing that today. So we're gonna work on something else because there's so much to be done that it's not like if I don't do that, I don't have anything else to do. So the next thing we're gonna do is work on stringing up my tomatoes. Because I didn't put them in the raised beds like I did last year, I don't have the trellises for them to grow on. So here's the tomatoes, one long row of tomatoes, and we have a wire. You can't see it, but there's a wire above them. So I should have done this when I first put them in, but I didn't have any clips. So we're gonna go down through and we're gonna tie a string to the wire and then bring it down and use a clip and clip it to each tomato. Try to keep them going upwards instead of sprawling on the ground. It may work, it may not work. It may work and then not last, because once we finally finish this garden, getting everything done, then we are going to get back to work on the house, which, you know, it's going to take 99% of our time. So I'm trying to get this garden done so that all I have to do is water it every now and then and let it do its thing while we're working on the house. So that's what we're going to do next, is we're going to string up these tomatoes, hopefully get them up off the ground. At least they're not touching the dirt because I have the landscape fabric down, so they're not touching the dirt. Might help them, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see which ones of these do better than others, because all these middle ones are in the shade right now, but that end and this end are now in the sun. So the middle ones are definitely gonna get more shade than the rest. But let's see if we can string some of these up. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how the best way to do this.
No, neither.
You can just tie a granny knot, I guess. I mean, you just need to cut a whole bunch of strings there. Most of these tomatoes, or half of the tomatoes, were supposed to be determinants, but then when I planted the seeds, they all said indeterminate, so I don't know what's what here. I have no clue. This tomato here is San Marzano. Now my San Marzanos last year were definitely indeterminants. Or maybe not, but they got to be like 6 feet high. So I don't think a 6-foot tomato plant is a determinant. So I don't know. All right, so I'm just gonna tie the string to the wire with a granny knot, and then I'm gonna bring it down. Pick up the tomato plant. So the string, if you've never seen this done, the string goes in the hinge part of the clip. And then you just clip it onto the tomato plant, like so. All right, so we got all the tomatoes all tied up, and the garden's looking much better. Except for, these are the red Norland potatoes, and some of them down through there are turning yellow, and it hasn't been 95 days, so they're not ready. Now these potatoes over here, the Yukon Gold, we have seen potatoes poking up out of the ground, and they're probably about golf ball size, maybe a little bit smaller. So they're doing well, but I don't know what's wrong with these red Norlands. Now, one more thing I want to do, well, two. I want to show you these onions. Look at that massive onion. And the top has fallen over. So I'm going to give it a couple more days, and then I'm going to harvest that one. It's kind of weird because a lot of these onions don't really have much of a bulb on them. But then if you come down here, now these are looking nice. And then if you come down here to this side, look, I got a double onion there. But this side, these onions are getting huge. There's a big one right there. I mean, those are big. Like, that would fill my hand. And a lot of these right in this area right here. So, from like right there, all the way down to about in there. Those are getting big. And then there's a bunch that are still tiny. And then on this side, these are doing well. They're just not as big as the other side. So. But we got all the tomatoes strung up. I actually broke off one of my tomato plants. I really wish I had gotten to stringing them up a lot sooner, because I broke it off right at the base. I went to stand it up so I could string it up, and it just snapped right off because they've been laying on the ground for so long that they're just curved. But I only broke the one, so I think we'll be all right. Okay, one more thing I want to do, and then I need to go make some dinner, is I want to harvest the rest of the carrots. Now my Brussels sprouts were doing really good until this past week. The wind keeps blowing the bug netting off, and now it has gotten all eaten on the top. So I'm gonna get the bug netting back on there as soon as I check all the leaves for eggs and bugs. Then I'm gonna put the netting back on there, and hopefully, it's weird, they've only eaten that one. Well, I guess they've eaten a little bit on this one too, but I'm really trying to get some Brussels sprouts out of there. And the celery is doing well, but not getting very big around. But let's get these carrots out of the ground. We planted these back in November. So I have harvested most of them, but I want to get the rest of them out of the ground so I can start another crop of them. Look at that itty bitty carrot. Did I say onions? I meant carrots. But I also didn't thin them out, so like they're growing right up close to each other, and that's one reason why they don't get very big. But they're big enough. Oops, I think I broke the top off of that one. Mikey takes them to school for his snack, and he loves them. I keep asking him, what do you want for snack? And he keeps saying carrots, so he gets carrots. which is great. I love to see them eat things that are good for them. But let's go down through here and harvest these. See if we get anything really good. I mean, they're big around. Some of them are big around, but they're very short. Which could also be because this ground isn't tilled very deep. So, I mean, they're fatter than my finger. That's a good one. I'm gonna guess that they're 3 to 4 inches long. That's a fat one. These are, I think they're Scarlet Nantes. There's some seeds I had from a few years ago. There's another good one. And I would like to put some carrots back into this spot, and maybe I should thin them out. Maybe they'll grow better. I just broke the top off of that one too. Oy. But I don't like the thin carrots because I just feel like I'd rather have a small carrot than no carrot, if you know what I mean. If I thin it out, then I'm losing that carrot. So, I don't know. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that one. That's a good one. Wait. Oh, I broke the tip off of that one. Another good one. Whoop! Broke the top off of that one. I don't know if I'm gonna get that one out. Maybe if I pull the one next to it, it'll loosen it up. Ooh, look at that. They're wrapped around each other pretty good. And it loosened the dirt so I could pull that one out. That's a good one too. Ooh, look at how fast. That one's really big around, but it's short. So I'm definitely thinking it's just because the ground's not tilled deep enough. And looks like 1 or 2 more little ones down here. Nope. That's a carrot topper. Haha. Tricked me. Another trick. Another trickster. And last one right here. Oy. Not bad. We've got the Toms up here visiting, and we have the supervisor that's always here. Okay guys, that's it for me for the garden today. Got quite a few carrots. I'm gonna take them down, wash them up, cut the tops off. Probably just stick them in the fridge. We go through them pretty fast. Like I said, Mikey likes taking them to school for snack. I love to snack on carrots, so they probably won't last very long. That's why I want to grow some more. But I thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.